Okay, meeting is being sent to third party. Okay, yeah, YouTube live started. Is has it started? Like it's not streaming on my side. Give me, okay, it's checking. All right. So welcome everyone to Author series, where I will be showcasing 12 authors who are newly published authors and who are nothing less than drawing legacies, each of their own. This is a special series, and it is to honor all of these authors who have written their books in 2 months and who have made their legacies. And we have done one episode before where we met Dr. Shella and her book about A to Z power. And this time we are bringing another power packed book and another power packed lady who has written the book. Okay. So from I can't write to how I did it, Sumi's journey of book writing is nothing less than a self discovery. An engineer by education, an IT professional, a dance and music enthusiast, a public speaking and improv theater lover. She's a learner for life and a lover of adventure. And that's why Adrenaline Shorts, her book. It's a collection of short stories. And I would say that Sumi Sundaran and her book, Adrenaline Shorts, is absolutely mind-blowing cocktail of joy, pleasure, and life lessons. So welcome Sumi on board. And
thank you.
Welcome on this Author to Author series.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ina. Thanks for having me here.
My pleasure. Okay, so how was the experience? Maybe in a one line, if you want to say that before we begin of writing.
It was, I think, like how you described it, mind blowing. Starting out thinking, let's try it out, let's give it a shot. And I was amazed how it turned out to be. So it's been a journey from also discovering myself, my writing skills, if you will. It was drastically different towards the end of it from when I started out. So it's been wonderful. Thanks for coaching me for that.
My pleasure. Indeed, it's a special pleasure. And I would let you know why this book is very close to my heart, not because I edited it. There are several other reasons. But before that, let's spill the beans about, I would love to know how the book name came up. I know like there was a lot of brainstorming happening back there in the behind the scenes. Uh, I would love to know how the title came up.
I think my initial draft title was Deep Within but Soaring to the Fore. I knew that this was going to change. The title made very much sense after I started writing a few stories. And there was one where I was talking about me being an adrenaline junkie and how several things give me a high. Also, another line of thought was these were small stories, 7 short stories, as good as shots that we have, filled with adrenaline. So, yeah, it was a really cool title for a short book with short stories, which I hope gives you the adrenaline rush that I had while experiencing those stories or events in my life.
on that note, absolutely, I can relate it to one of the concepts which we have learned in our TTT as well, which is state transfer.
Hmm.
So when you have written it with that energy, where, and I know you inhale adrenaline like anything, you inhale all the adventure sports, and you're always up for it. So I'm very sure, because when I read your stories, I literally felt that as if I'm living those moments, and so it perfectly suited really well. That that's what got high, the adrenaline, when I read your stories. It was almost like living in your stories. So definitely the audience would be, or the reader would be, definitely getting your energy for sure. So I
That
would
is
recommend,
kind.
highly recommend to all of you to read Adrenaline Shots.
Thank
Okay,
you so much, Hina. Thank you, thank you.
my pleasure. Okay, Sumi. So one more question. Uh, what was your inspiration behind this book, apart from my pushes?
These stories have lived with me. I didn't
Mhm.
have to think about these were the stories that would come about in the book. Um, and each of them have a lesson behind them for me, from my perspective. Um, my idea was to put them in a fun story of sorts, which comes out as a lesson from my perspective again, while also encouraging the readers to go a little within themselves around the lesson. So I think these were my own stories, which I thought could be useful for the others as well in some way.
Yeah, actually, that what stands out. That's what makes your book stand out. Uh, because when I was trying to find that USP of your book, and that's what came to my mind, that your book, on one hand, anybody can see it as just as a short story collection, but that's not it. It's much beyond that, because rarely I find such stories where there's a lot of fun element in that. There's a lot of, it's just like, there's some fun going on, and the person and the author is describing about something funny or something which just happened in their life, without having the tinge or shade of sadness, of challenges, of that terror that I faced this. Without having any of that, you still conveyed your lesson really, really well. And that's what that's what kept me, like, it really swept me off my feet. So that's this, USP, which I was totally, and in fact I have shared that with you, that your book stands
Yes.
out because of that. There's no shedding tears, but still, there are life lessons.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Great. And who was the most, I would say, pushy person behind, apart from me, who told you that you should write that book, or if you got stuck, then that person came as a driving force?
I would say, other than you, that's my notion.
Okay. Okay.
uh, I there were times in the journey when I thought this is not going to happen. And it's only because of the two of you, and I felt that, my God, the two of you have so much confidence in me, more than I have in myself, and that kept me going. I would not say pushy, I would say recognizing my skills more than I did. And you need such people in your life, right? So it's thanks to you and Vernos to keep me going, I would say.
Wow.
Thank you.
So lovely. My pleasure. Great. Okay, ready for the rapid fire questions?
All set.
All right. So here comes the first shot.
Yes.
Describe your book in one line.
Uh, it's a coffee or a tea table read, or it could also be a short read, which you could finish in one go, um, and have fun while doing so.
That's so many lines, but still does the
Yeah.
justice. Okay. Ready for the next shot?
Mhm.
What was the most scary moment or most challenging moment while writing this book?
The scary was day one. I had decided to write on that day, and I didn't start until very late in the evening. I was scared to take my laptop out and start writing.
Wow. And I can see the complete transformation now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Uh, what part of writing excited you the most?
Um, After a while, when I started doing this as a routine, thanks to you again, who said that it's necessary to sit down and write every day. Um, After a while, I realized that even if I don't have an idea, only by sitting down and to open up my laptop, start writing, I realized there are ideas coming through. And that was very exciting. I was kind of an aha moment to know that, wow, even if I don't have something in my head to write about, you sit down and something would come through. That excited me to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and write, even though I'm not a morning person.
Wow. Lovely. So what a writing made you do all the other things.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay. So that makes me go to the next shot, which is who is your most favorite author or maybe few authors?
On top of my head, Jane Austen.
Okay.
I felt that in her era, she wrote books portraying strong female protagonists, if you will. I felt that the author herself was very ahead of her times in portraying such characters that are ahead of the 18th 19th century and defying rules of society, which I find very interesting.
Wow. Lovely. And that reminds me to read that book which we discussed about Jane Austen.
Yeah, Pride and Prejudice. Yeah, I love that book.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay. Any other author apart from this?
I would a little bit go with Dan Brown. I was into reading, thrillers and such. Or the detective ones. So I liked his writing as well because he comes with a lot of research in his books. Yeah.
Okay. Lovely. Great. Okay, Sumi. So what's your most favorite book apart from Pride and Prejudice, as you already said?
Pride and Prejudice also because I love the language in the book. Um, um, and of course, what I told about the author and the characters in the book. Apart from that, one book that I can remember, which I read in my childhood, it was a Sydney Sheldon book. It was called "Tell Me Your Dreams." It's very interesting to
Mm.
me at that time because it was about split personalities. I was like, wow, multiple split personalities. That was quite interesting to me. Um, there's another one by Robin called Coma, kind of a medical thriller. That is something also I found interesting back then.
Wow. It's quite pretty diversely interesting choices. Lovely.
Yes.
And that reminds me of one thing. So you better don't tell that you can't read like a writer because you have been noticing all these nuances in writing. Just like you said that you love the language and Pride and Prejudice. So time to
Interesting.
break that.
Thank you. Thanks for the thanks for the observation.
Thank you. My pleasure, actually. Okay. Okay, Sumi. So in this whole process of writing, What's that one limiting belief that you conquered during this journey?
One of them was I didn't believe that I could write a book, of course.
Mhm.
Another thing was goes back to the point that I mentioned earlier. I always thought I need to know what I should write before I sit down to do so. Whereas during this journey, I realized it's okay to have a blank mind and still open up your laptop. And then the ideas would come through. It's not necessary that you write down everything there. You can just remember those ideas and take it up later. So it was quite interesting to that was I mean the limiting belief would be that you need to know what to write before you start writing. That is not true. I realized it was a very interesting one,
Yeah,
eye opener,
indeed.
if you
And
will.
that's that would be an encouragement to all those who think that I don't have ideas.
Yeah, that is true. Yes.
All right. Okay, so very interesting. Like the insight itself is something which everybody can take it as a takeaway.
Yeah.
Uh, okay,
That
coming
was
to the
one of
next.
the
Yeah, yeah. What did you say?
That was one of the ideas also when I was thinking, why should I publish it versus maybe writing blogs? There are, I think, many people who are good at writing and then probably they do not take the leap to get going. And I hope that this serves an inspiration to those who are on the edge there to say that, okay, if I can do this, you can also do this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that takes me back to the same thing which I once said in one of our book coaching sessions, where I said that only like there are almost 80% of people in this world's population who want to write a book, and only 1% end up publishing that book. So
Mhm.
there's this huge gap between some leave somewhere and some leave at the other stage, and the final publishing rarely happens.
Yeah, yeah, nice.
Yeah. So it's tedious, but it's totally worth it, is
Yeah,
what I say.
yeah. Even if it can influence a small population, I would be happy. I would be happy that the aim of the book is achieved.
Then you should be happy already because it has at least influenced me. I've kept you updated about that. So I am considered in the small population.
Yeah, of course you are. You are considered a big percentage in the small population.
Thank you for that. Thank you for saying that. Okay. Okay, Sumi. So apart from finding out this belief that, you don't need to wait for the ideas, just open your laptop and maybe, pick up the pen and paper and there you go. What is that another new empowering belief which you have discovered in this journey?
In the beginning, it would have been I can also write, and I would say that I was writing even earlier, more for myself or little posts here and there. I think I realized I can write better than I did earlier, or I can write well too. Learned a little bit of the art from you. So it's been nice. Like I said, it's when I started out, the way that I was writing, and towards the end, the way that I was writing was very different. So I think I can write well, if you will. That
Yeah.
could be the empowering belief.
I'm so happy because I can write well is something generally people, I'm generalizing, but I've seen that that's that's the belief I really want people to get. So that's where the journey begins, and there are many more books to come.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I would say I can write well from my perspective. Yeah. And I'm sure it's a journey. It's going to improve
Okay,
along the way. I'm pretty sure it's going to only get better.
definitely. Okay, okay, Sumi. So that brings me to the second round of rapid fire, which is about this or that. So you have to choose one between the two options.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. So writing or editing, what do you like better?
Writing.
Okay. Uh, editing or marketing, what do you like better?
Ooh. Editing. I'm picking the easier one.
Okay. Okay. Writing a blog or writing a story, what would you choose?
Writing a story.
I knew this one. I could guess this.
Yeah.
Okay. A story or a novel?
Right now, a story.
Okay. Great. Okay. So the next one is a novel or a non-fiction.
Ooh. Novel.
So it's all the stories inside you. Okay. And that brings me to a very important and $1 million question, which is second book or no books from now on?
Let me go with we will see.
There's no option like that.
It's a new option I created. um, yeah, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, but
We'll see.
okay. Okay. All right. So next one is thriller or romantic fiction. What would you like to write?
Thriller.
Okay. Great. Okay, so then choose between reading or writing.
Depends on the mood.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I should have made writing practice. um,
Okay.
which I have to say I've fallen off the wagon on, and I will get back to. Um, yeah, it depends. It depends.
Reading.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
It
hard to
depends.
pick.
All
Both are
right.
very interesting. Yeah, now that I've experienced writing, I think it's hard to pick. Otherwise, my pick would have been reading.
Oh, great. Okay. All right. Journaling or story writing.
Story writing.
Okay. All right. Next time when you write the book, you want to do it by yourself or you want to explore more by learning more about it?
More by learning. There's a lot to learn. Yeah,
That's
I'm
you are
pretty
a
sure.
lifelong learner. So I
Yes.
knew your answer. Okay, so the next is mythology or crime fiction. What would you like to write?
Crime fiction.
So much of crime and thriller. That's why
Come,
adrenaline shots.
comes from reading all the thrillers in my childhood days and
Yeah.
watching detective serials.
Okay. So all the secrets are coming out.
Yeah, looks like.
Okay. So, uh, autobiography or self-help book?
Is it about writing?
Yeah, right.
I would go with self-help.
Self-help. Okay. All right. Okay, that brings me to the very last, but the very, very important question, which is writer nama or writer nama?
Writer or?
Writer nama.
Of course. There is no other that I have known.
I didn't give options.
And it's been a pleasure. So, yeah, obvious choice.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you.
Yeah.
But still, I won't give you the option.
That is so sweet of you too. And do you mind if I return the favor, Hina, by
Please,
asking
but
you
I have
some
one more
questions?
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one more question. I would love to know who was the happiest person apart from me, or maybe Mehnosh or Pavan sir. Uh, who was the happiest person when, and you yourself, but when they came to know about your book?
I was going to say you because you were the when it was published, we were talking and you were dancing. So I mean, it was like the first moment of okay, publish. It's published, and I was amazed that you were dancing. And of course, other than that, it's my family and my circle. So without saying. Yeah, you were
Lovely.
dancing. That I remember very, very prominent, very clearly, and I couldn't do that. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
couldn't do
So
that
I
where I
danced because so
was
that
at
you
that
could
time.
dance.
What was that
I
again?
danced because I danced because I thought that that would make you dance.
I couldn't where I was at that time. Yeah. So it was really fun. I was so happy that someone else is so happy for me. So it's really cool. Yeah.
Wow. Definitely. When such a power pack book is coming, who wouldn't be happy? Like the readers would be happy after reading that.
So too.
All right. So once again, I'm recommending, highly recommending Adrenaline Shots by Sumi Sundaran. And now the tables are turned as she wants to ask me some questions. Okay.
Yes.
So at your service, ma'am.
Thank you. Um, so tell me about your journey of coaching me and editing the book.
Oh, wow. So this is how it feels on the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for making me taste it.
Now you know.
Yeah. So I would say it was a mix of everything. And while on the side, it was a huge self-discovery, lots of learning, lots of new friendships. I deepened my bonds with all of you. And I got to know all of you in deeper senses. And that was the kind of reward which would never qualify to any other kind of reward. So that was there. And I discovered some dark sides of me as well, where I never thought that, while being a coach, I would be pushing somebody, or a few of them have got the PPLs from me as well, like the scoldings and all. So it kind of, as I always say, that you don't write the book writes you simultaneously when it comes to a book coach. And since this was my first group coaching, I got a lot of self discovery because it was kind of meeting so many people together versus when I used to do one on one. I had to take care of just one person, looking from their point of view, why that person is stuck. But here I had 14 stars, and I had to go to every star, travel to every star, and see how the surface is, how that star, where the star is located, and all that. So and that brought out many dark yet much required sides of me being a coach. So
Hmm.
it has helped me to evolve like anything, and it's been a very memorable journey, very exciting and very fast paced as well.
Yes.
So if I say, okay, time literally flew before I could see, look back and see, oh my God, all are published.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that
yeah,
must have needed a lot of behavioral flexibility with so many different people with their own models of the world, right? Yeah, so
yeah.
amazing job, Hina. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That coming from somebody who has written in this program. That's a trophy.
Of course, the book is here thanks to you being my book coach and editing it also. So, yeah, I have one more question. What was the best moment while you were editing my book or coaching for me?
Oh, wow. That reminds me of a very, very heart melting moment. And I don't know whether I can share that or not, but since you have asked me, I'm being authentic here. When you, after finishing the book and after the editing happened and you kind of rewrote it, and I guess the book had gone to the typesetting that time, uh, you said that you have sent me your finally typeset copy, and I was yet to see that. And I guess I took 2 days, and then you told me that, kind of reminded me that you have to read that. And please read that because I've written something for you. And I was so selfish. And I was like, okay, there's something for me, then let me go and read it. And before that, you sent me all the snapshots of that mail. And that was, I mean, time stopped for me when I read that mail, because writing is something, taking coaching is something, learning is something. But, for me, making notes and realizing the nuances, finding out the differences, what all really changed in the book, how the book was and where it has reached, and you documenting the whole journey by pointing out everything that, these were the things changed and the, what those things made you feel.
Mm.
That really melted me. And I was like, wow, somebody does that. I mean, learning something to this extent is altogether a different ballgame for me. Like, hats off to you for that. Like, I was like, she is a real learner that, putting so much efforts that it's one thing, book is gone to typesetting, my job is done. That's a part of the assignment and I'm done with that. But still going ahead, and it's not just about you acknowledging me, it's mostly about how you felt after, how the book shaped. It's your baby and you totally, totally acknowledged it with all the kind of nourishment and nutrition we together gave to the book. That's really that's really a breakthrough moment for me.
I it was worth writing all those points for you, Hina, because I realized how restructuring a little bit in the story, in one of the stories, made such a huge difference to how it was presented, and similar such things. So I had to, point out all of those so that you understand how big of a difference you have made to putting this together. Thank you. Thank you
My
so much
God.
for
Can I say I'm speechless?
that. I can see that.
My pleasure.
Yeah. And I'll give it back to you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you
So
for
here I
bearing
got
with
my
my
mic back.
questions.
Oh, I absolutely loved it. You should keep interviewing people more. I would suggest you to do that. Okay, so here was Sumi Sundaran with her book Adrenaline Shorts. You have the book with you? Okay, that's yet to come to, since she's not in India, the book has to be delivered to her. All right, so go to Amazon and check it and do give it a read because it's so worth it. You would never read such kind of stories where there's no sulking, but there are life lessons. And I'm a huge fan. I'm huge fan of each of your book, and I have USPs of each of your books. So this time, Sumi, thank you for being on board here. Thank you for sparing time. And yes, keep writing and keep spreading the happiness which you have done in your first book.
Thank you so much, Hina. Thanks for having me here. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.